Tanto.
Hi, Isaac. Just a moment of silence, please. Yeah. Oh, danke. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Evangelia.
Evening.
Hi.
Could we just rest a little bit? Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you. So, yes, Anna.
Do we look at something today?
Sure.
Yeah. And there was a conversation a few days back where the system felt attacked and went into a little bit of a freeze. And but what was new was that it was also witnessed, and there was also peace.
Yeah.
So it wasn't taken seriously. Yeah, that was great. But then the days after now, it's back to the same pattern of, it's like the system is afraid that it will be attacked again and not be able to set boundaries. So at the time it felt good, but now it's afraid again.
So honoring that fear, and what's its function? What's it?
It was trying to predict. It is still trying to predict attacks when to somehow be prepared, and then it won't hurt so much.
Okay. So it's trying to help, yeah? Yeah. Now the question is, does it help?
Now it creates a lot of pain.
Yeah, okay. So it's trying to help, but it doesn't help. And just seeing that clearly, what does that do? Just, it's not wrong, it's not bad, it's trying to help, it's just confused, it doesn't help. Because it keeps you in the fear loop, yeah, keeps you in, which is more than likely going to, it's like your attention is focused on that in a way that energetically you're available for that same dynamic,
Yes.
so to speak.
As it was very clear that this other system needed help and clear boundaries, which I didn't set, and then aggression just acted out. It was just happen automatically.
Yeah. So it's okay that your system never set boundaries, never set a boundary then.
If it's okay.
It's okay that your system never set a boundary, and it seems like it's interested in learning how to set a boundary. But the way it's trying to do it isn't working.
No.
Because it keeps you in that sympathetic nervous system that's kind of existentially organized.
I feel the emotional old pain in the stomach. Do you think should I let it out, or should I do something else?
Yes, so you're feeling something in your belly. Okay. Different people have different ways of reading the chakras. So for me, the belly, it has to do with the right to be yourself, just the way you are. and the right for others to be the way they are, just the way they are. You know. Somehow your system feels like it's not okay the way it is. And there's like this trying to put pressure on itself to be different. But if that resonates, just to be gentle with it, you know, it's trying, all of that is trying to assist, but it doesn't actually. And just resting here, nothing to solve, nothing to fix. You're in a learning curve because you have an interest to learn, to be able to set clear boundaries. And most likely, in your upbringing, you never had parents that knew how to set clear boundaries or taught you how to set clear boundaries. So now you're in a learning curve. You're in this community where I think you're watching and seeing clear boundaries being set. And so your system is learning, but not linearly, not like a how-to manual, you know, it's just like, just sensing, because you know we're resting together, just sensing. Just if this nervous system, if you sense that this nervous system knows how to set boundaries, you're welcome to download it, just energetically, just let that information be available to you. And you're welcome to it. So you don't have to do anything for it. You don't have to be worthy or anything. It's just like, okay. You know, you see someone has a skill at something, and, you know, when you rest with them or you start spending time with them, you start learning. It's just natural. It's just how. So if anger gets projected, what does it have to do with you?
That touched something. There was an old belief that it's always my fault.
Yeah. So just to see that, you know, somewhere your system took that on as a position or a perspective. Is it still necessary? I mean, there's anger, it has nothing to do with you. Okay, I see. Well, you know, like so if somehow anger gets projected on me, it seems like, it really seems like it has nothing to do with me. It also has nothing to do with the other person. It just has to do with that somehow there's a confusion in that system. However they were conditioned, it was okay to just vomit on people. And, you know, it's like, really not interested in that.
There's a sense that it's not safe even if it's not about me, it's not safe when anger happens in some systems that remind me something.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I get it, you know, it's like, for sure, there's a big gradient there. If someone is carrying anger and they, in a sense, it's an aggression, you know, it's like, especially if it gets projected, so, you know, in the martial arts, there's these different art forms, you could say, like karate. If someone does that, you smash them. In Aikido, you use your, whoever's projecting like that, you use that energy to bring them to center. So it's a much more, I would say, fine art. So it's like, if someone's being aggressive, how can you meet it in a way that invites them to come to center? And there again, it's not a manual how to do it. It's just like an interest. Oh, wow. I see. Yes, it's possible. There's a story I like. This guy went to Japan to study martial arts, and he gotten like, I don't know, really high up, and he got on a train, and there was this drunk guy who was quite belligerent and troubling the other passengers on the train. And, you know, he's thinking to himself, if this guy does anything more, I'm just going to put him down. And this little old man called out to this guy who was kind of big and drunk, "Hey, what you been drinking?" And the guy said, "Sake." He said, "Oh, come here, come sit down. I also like sake. Come sit next to me. How come how come you drinking?" "Oh, my wife just died," or whatever. And in a short time, this guy was just, he was being met. And this karate guy thought, Jesus, he'd missed the boat, This old man, he just wasn't afraid. He just met the guy. And so, for me, if I see somebody, one of the things for me when I see someone angry and projecting it, one of the things that I found really useful is just to name it and say, you're projecting that anger onto me, which means you're putting me in charge of your happiness. And, I'm honored that you do such a thing, but I don't think you would do that consciously. It's kind of so just to name it, like, yeah, this is what I see happening. It's like, because if someone's angry and they think it's your fault, they literally have put their happiness in your hands. And then the anger is trying to control you to get you, but it doesn't work. How's the feeling in your belly now? Same, different, easier, more intense.
I took a deep breath just now. Yeah, it's different. I think more tears might come, but it doesn't feel that. The fear is not there right now.
And if tears come, would they be happy tears or sad tears or release tears?
Releasing tears.
Releasing tears. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And maybe they come and maybe they don't.
Thank you.
You know, it's also worth looking at the reverse when someone says, you know, I really love you. What does that have to do with you? It just means that they're feeling good. You know, so it's whatever the projection is. Are you the greatest Swedish saint since, I don't know who the last Swedish saint was, but anyway.
It can also be painful to have to live up to something.
Yeah, it's yeah. You know, somehow that seems a very human habit, yeah, is to project. Someone else is responsible for your good feelings or your bad feelings.
I like that. It only means they are feeling good.
Yeah, and you know, even to project it on ourselves, as if it has anything to do with me, you know, it's like ooh. Awareness just is, it's not concerned with any of that. You know, if there's just meeting each other in a sweet way, then love just flows naturally without. But it's not then loving someone, it's just loving itself, just flowing in. It's that simple, really. Easy, uncomplicated. Excellent.
Thank you for your guidance.
Swah.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
I have a little bit so giving boundaries to other people, setting them something, sometimes happening like yesterday, that it involved some anger in me because I felt my boundaries have been overstepped. It was a late night cooking in the house, and then everything smells, and I get angry, you know, because I have to.
Whatever,
And then
yeah.
I go.
So then anger came, and you asked them to stop.
I did not say to stop cooking, but I go into the kitchen and I said, you know, it's now the whole night hanging in the air, and it's really making a problem for me to, you know, it smells everywhere, you know, and this person felt not good with it because in its freedom, you know, I was hungry and I don't know. And now I feel I feel bad, you know. I feel like even if I have the feeling I was not aggressive and also saying why it's disturbing me. And by the way, you could also buy some toilet paper. There was the anger. And since I live with people, you know, it's again and again this different styles of life.
Yeah, so setting a boundary means saying what it is that you want. And if I just tell you, look, I'm upset, it doesn't really set a boundary. Or does it in your world? You're just looking. Huh?
I don't really understand. I said,
Okay,
I feel.
so you know, like for many people, there's a confusion. We think that showing someone that we're upset is setting a boundary. But setting a boundary is saying what it is that you want. Like
Yes,
someone's cooking. So someone's cooking, you say, look, please stop. They may or may not listen to you, depending on what your agreements are about the use of the kitchen.
Yeah, it's not set this boundary because it's not that I'm in charge here, you know.
Okay, so then you see, it's not really part of your agreement that people can or can't do it. So you're not in a position to set a boundary there.
In a way, yes.
So then what happens is an upset happens, which is actually leaves a residue because it doesn't feel good in you and it doesn't feel good in the other person. And the upset is a means of trying to control. It's not a clear communication. That's why it doesn't feel good, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of these things in my circumstances here in the house. No clear agreements.
Yeah. So the options then in that circumstance are to hold a meeting and see if people want to have clear agreements. And if they don't want, then either to find a way that you just see your priority. Is your priority to find another place where you have clear agreements, or is your priority to find a way the deal in yourself with upsets because of that's your circumstance.
Yeah,
And
it's looking
yeah,
like the second thing is in the moment my option.
yeah, because maybe you like your place where you live it, maybe the rent is good or whatever it is.
That is the
And
case.
yeah, so that you're there and there aren't clear agreements, and then that's the price, you could say, of having. Yeah.
So
So then if people cook at night, I mean, I guess either you burn incense or you do something.
I do.
Yeah. So, I mean, because to be upset with people because you don't like something, it leaves a residue for you and for them. The next time you see them, there's this upset in the air and feeling badly treated or whatever the residue is. Because we can feel when something isn't clear from our side, when it's not clean. And then we can say, look, I'm sorry, I realize that wasn't really appropriate to be upset. My system was upset and it projected, so I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's not a question of learning to set boundaries. You're in that circumstance where there are no agreements. So, yeah. And you're not in a position to Thanks, Andrea.
For many
Can
years, I
you
was in
can
the
you hear me
opposite.
clear? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
Okay, because
I can
Andrea
make one
says,
louder.
Andrea was saying that my mic is not so clear. I can try and be a little bit more close to my computer and see if that helps. Thanks, Andrea.
For many years, I was in the opposite. I was a householder, but now I'm not.
Yeah. So then it's
And
just
this is
getting
a
used to a
new,
different, circumstance, and just it gives you, it brings up opportunities just to see how your system manages when it's out of its comfort zone.
yes,
But it's not about setting clear boundaries, because that's not what you don't have. In that circumstance, you don't have that agreement.
No.
Yeah. You could ask the person, like, would you be willing to not cook late at night? Just as a request, and where they can say yes or no. And to reestablish, I could say, friendliness with that person. It's good to say sorry, because your system acted in a way that wasn't in tune, so to speak.
Nice to have you so near.
Great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Gotcha. Hi.
Hi, Isaac. Morning from your
Greetings. Yes.
I'm trying to hold back the tears.
No need. Let them come if they come.
There's a sense of being really, really naked, which is very a little scary, because I'm all the ideas, like trying to reach to awareness that are not longer working.
Hmm.
So it's like I have no ground to hang on to.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually beautiful.
So
Yeah.
my system is
You're here naked and vulnerable, you know. I mean, that's the most, you know, when you see a baby or a puppy or something, those are the qualities we love.
yeah.
You know, they invite a sweet meeting. So,
Yeah.
and like you say, you're not used to it, so of course.
Yeah, it's like those ideas were kind of a defense mechanism to really
Exactly.
and
Yeah, and it's beautiful to see, and because those defenses don't really work for one thing, and they cost a lot of energy.
Mm.
So now, you know, it's like, okay, you're just getting used to that nakedness, that vulnerability, that realness.
I just wanted to report a little bit. These last 3-4 days from our last meeting, I've been hooked onto these meetings, all your videos. They have been bathing. There's such a pull and such beauty, and everyone which one came and talked with you, I was really
Yeah,
benefiting
Yeah.
from their presence.
yeah. How beautiful that you speak that. Yeah,
And it's such a gratitude too that you are doing this and everyone is into this. So last night was good words, the nourishment and the system, and I think you use the words like young system or old system, and the system. So I've been going from this from early childhood, all this are like going like this,
yeah.
back and forth and recognizing. So last night I was very nice space, and around 4 o'clock I woke up with a little discomfort in the chest, a little pain here and there. So of course the system would freak out, and so yesterday I did call 112 again, but there was a little bit difference. There was less of a panic and more of a just in case if it's something.
Yeah. Well, so something is progressing. Your system is learning to take care without freaking out.
Yeah, exactly.
How beautiful.
So yeah, so in case, I said, okay, this is happening, but there was not the normal, the panic and all the stress, and it was much reduced, and there was a little bit space that this is happening, and I'm here. So I'm just dialing this number just to take care. That's what was done.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that.
A story from my life. Last winter, it's, it gets a bit cold here, not like Europe, but I woke up in the middle of the night and my heart was, I don't know what you call it. It was all over the place. It was just missing beats and going faster and slower, and it was just doing a funny thing. And oh shit, man, what do I do? I don't really feel like waking up Micah and going to the hospital, and it's like, I thought, either I'll wake up in the morning or I won't. And if I wake up, it's still going on, then I thought we can go to the hospital.
Oh, wow. And did you end up calling the ambulance or?
I didn't call the ambulance. Mikey just took me to the hospital in the morning because it was still doing this irregular thing. And so I was in the hospital for some hours and they said, listen, we need to get back into a proper rhythm. And we can either give you drugs or we can do that shock thing. And I said, I've never had that shock thing, and let's try that. And so they got the room ready and everybody was interested to come and see this thing happening. And about 1 minute before they were going to do it, my heart just came into rhythm, I think. And everyone went, oh. And then they were disappointed. They wanted to. Anyway, funny story.
And the most funny part is when it first happened, I didn't know what a heart attack means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So while it was happening, there was no panic because I couldn't relate to it.
Yeah, I get it.
But do you see? It's very funny.
Yeah.
Once the memory has gone in, then there's a story comes with it. Oh, and you read, and the whole society. I read, wow, heart attack, and it's everything is the conditioning around the heart attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't want to go into this whole pharmaceutical thing, but it's huge.
Yeah.
It's the whole conditioning around a disease, even though it carries so much charge. But while it was happening, and I didn't have a reference. So there was nothing to it.
Yeah.
I think this is probably true about a lot of things if you don't have a reference.
Yeah.
Just pointing something which I noticed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Isaac. This is thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Satya. Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. On the bottom left is a little red thing. If you click on it, then you unmute yourself. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can hear you. Ciao, Vedanta.
I liked hearing what you were saying about sitting with someone who can set their own boundaries, and because there is that issue in me as well of being very unclear with boundaries. So
Yeah, I mean, you know,
it's nice to
it-
do that.
I don't think it's anything any of us would ever decide to be like that. You know, it's just like our system never got the information. That's all that it boils down to.
Mm.
And very often there's patterns going of wanting to be liked or wanting to be loved that are confused in there. And it's like, but actually,
It's
in your own experience, if
all,
someone is clear with
bit
you,
by bit coming clearer.
yeah, if someone is real clear with you, like, you know, whatever it is, it's, how does it feel when people just give you clear information?
It's so good.
Yeah, it actually feels good. But for very often for many of us, it's like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings by saying no.
Yeah, I don't want to look a certain way. There's so much of that going on, but
Yeah,
no.
old information, you know, just old
Yeah,
conditioning or
it's
whatever it is. It's just like,
just yeah,
yeah.
and it's becoming clearer, and it's slightly, well, it not slightly, it's falling away a bit. But I wanted to look with you something that that's very much coming into my awareness more. This holding in my system, in my body, that's been a pattern for my whole life, and with looking at my migraines and the reasons, it's very much aware of the holding and but then the ability to just be with this, and I just want to look with you a bit. Can you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you sense that I feel you at the same time?
Yeah, it's easy, it's smooth, it's, yeah. Yeah, thanks for checking.
Do you sense anything about this?
And just on an energetic level, I'm resting with that pattern in you and just giving it new information. So we'll see what happens from there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
To my sensing, your system is responding. So that's it.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Great, Rebecca. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Isaac. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac.
Hey, Thea.
Just exploring some kind of activation. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah. How do you sense it? What do you sense?
Well, it's kind of simultaneous. You could say sympathetic activation, but it easily moves into a kind of just closing, like everything just going.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, just shutting everything, like boom.
Would that be like a freeze or?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of energy just underneath the surface. There's a lot of like yes, it was something about this exploration of boundaries, and like you were saying about the belly being this place where feeling. I can't remember what you said actually.
The right to be just the way you are.
Yeah.
And the sense of equality
Yeah.
with life, with people.
Yeah.
And for most of us, that's not the conditioning we had, the sense of equality and the sense of a right to be just the way we are. That wasn't the.
Yeah. No, that was definitely not the way I felt. No, that's wrong. Yeah. Could you speak again, Isaac? I think.
Sure. Sometimes. Did my picture come back?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Get this sense that the system just is confused and don't know what, like, there's activity happening that is not related to the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
so, it sounds very much like you're touching some old trauma information.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's part of this, I would say, part of this funny journey is that we do start coming into contact with.
Yeah.
Stuff. Where there's, like a system that's developed compensations around it or whatever, and then all of a sudden, there it is.
Yeah.
when you sense the way my attention meets this moment with you, do you sense I meet you as an equal, or
Yeah,
any sense?
yeah. I mean, I do now that you say it, and I can
Yeah.
see how my system isn't used to that.
Yeah.
I mean, this activity is not used to that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice to just be conscious of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just aware how it was, you know, how the trauma, it feels like it just has these two options, like violent rage or just complete like numbness.
Yeah.
And now that something is happening that, oh, maybe there is a, you know, another option.
possibility.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Still a sense that if I'm going to set boundaries, I have to do it very very loudly. there isn't the just like, you know, no.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is now,
Yeah.
this part. Yeah.
You have a sense of that freeze is unfreezing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it seems like there's layers of it, but there's a
Yes,
much
with
more sense of calm.
yeah, without any effort, just resting.
Yeah.
Just happens. Yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
Great, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Andrea.
Hi, Isaac. Hi, everyone.
And hey, Andrea.
Mm. 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 No. Mm. Thank you.
Just busy.
Have you seen Govinda's message in the chat? He wants to talk to you.
Sure, no, I didn't see it yet. Govinda. Oh, hello. Govinda.
Hello.
Hi, Govinda.
Hi. I feel excited and fear.
What's the difference between fear and excitement? They're very close.
Maybe excitement is more connected to the body. And fear has a bigger mental component, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fear is also more stiff. Can't find the word right now.
So it's interesting, you know, it's like we hear, and then it's useful just to see if there's any real danger in this moment. Is there anything like in the, so you're just checking, you know, in this moment we hear. And you can feel energy moving and releasing and doing its dance, whatever it is. Yeah. But is there any real danger here? Like something that could.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, cool.
Can't find.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever that energy is it okay for it just to be there? And don't have to do anything with it, basically. Just something moving in the nervous system. Awareness is still here, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Feels good to notice.
Yeah.
I feel tingling sensations.
Yeah. Usually that's a sign of releasing, you could say, energy releasing. Without doing anything, something is releasing, which is great.
Yeah, it feels like the body relaxes more.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that tingling is like, in a way, it's like, you know, if you sit on your leg for a while and then you stand up and you have pins and needles, it's like blood flow is happening, and so it's natural, you could say. When there's been tension or trauma or something, and it starts to release, and that tingling happens.
Yeah, it feels relieving.
Yeah. Which country are you in?
Germany.
In Germany. It sounded like a German accent. That's a very Indian name, though.
Oh yeah. It has been passed to me by a friend.
Okay. And the name refers to who or what?
I think to Krishna.
No, but
Yes.
you know, we say, okay, my name is, and is it the name of the body? Is it the name of the personality? Is it what?
Um, it refers to a complex system of. It refers to a body, maybe,
Maybe, yeah.
to an appearance.
Yeah.
But the question is not easy to answer, I think.
No.
The
It's
mind.
usually people don't ever question that, you know. It's like, oh, who does this name refer to, or what does it refer to? Yeah. I mean, it's a way that, like, if someone says Govinda, then, you know, okay. Oh, they're talking to, they want something from, they want my attention, they want something from me, or whatever that is. Yeah. Rather than just saying, hey, you know.
This creates some confusion here. I cannot grasp it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a that question of who are you? Like, that are you that bodying activity which is changing every second? Are you the thoughts? Are you the feelings? Are you the experiences? Who are you? You know, just so you remove these different things and you end up with not much here, you know. is present.
I don't know who I am.
But what you do know is that you are.
I'm not sure.
Are you here?
Apparently,
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, good answer. And this I that doesn't know who you are, what's that?
that's a good question. This I don't know. Cannot answer this question, maybe.
It's interesting, because I think, it's common in all of us as we go to deep sleep, and that sense of I is gone, time is gone. And then waking up happens, and maybe for a moment or two, the senses are active. And then, like this thought comes up, where am I? What's going on? How am I feeling? What's on my list today? That's cycle of thoughts, and that creates a sense of I. If that cycle of thoughts is absolutely quiet, there's not much here. And we can check, that sense of I, without memory, it doesn't exist. So it's an activity, basically, that seems to locate us in time and space, appearing in something which we can't describe. Call it awareness, whatever word you want to use for that. Then the question is, are you that sense of I, or are you the awareness? Something deeper than that activity. Something in which the experience of now appears, you could say. Like the experience of now, which includes matter, energy, space, time. The whole universe is all appearing here in something we can't say what it is. Yeah, thanks for saying hello.
Thank you, Isaac. Thanks very much.
Birgitta.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Birgitta.
How are you?
Oh, all good.
Good.
Yeah.
I have an exploration and a question, and I think it's best to ask you the question: is our nervous system the conduit or the vehicle to embody more light in our in the system?
You know, it's like, to me, when I look at that question, I go, how is there a recognition of that there's a universe here? And if I go deep into that question, I can see actually it's all sensations. This moment is perceived through the senses, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The entire universe, time, matter, energy, space, all perceived through the senses, yeah?
Yes.
So we can say it's a field of information appearing through the senses. But then when we go deeper with that inquiry, it's like, okay, so there's this bodying activity, and it's a verb, it's not a noun. It's changing every second, you know, millions of cells are dying and millions of new cells are coming. It's like, it's incredible activity.
Communication for all of that is our nervous system, right?
Yeah. And so, but the question is, that whole process that we call the body is made up of, you know, bacteria, viruses, some human parts, and it all works together.
Yes.
In an amazing way, yeah. But how do we know in this moment, how do you know that there's a bodying activity going on? You sense it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, somehow we have this idea that it's the body that senses. But the body itself, or the bodying itself, is a sensation.
Yes, I can follow. Yeah.
Yeah. So somehow, you know, the sensations of now are here, including the sensations of the bodying activity. They're all here.
Mm-hmm.
All the information of this moment is here, appearing in what? But for me, I use the word awareness.
Yeah.
But, and it's like kind of there's but we can't actually say what awareness is or where it is. It's just, it's everywhere and it's nowhere. And it's like, and the sensations of this moment, usually they filtered through our conditioning and we end up with a perception. But just the raw information we can't describe at all. It's like, it's just, how do you describe this moment? It's, I've never been able to. I don't know if anyone can. Because it's changing. So
I'm wondering, or it's not. The question comes because I'm doing art therapy, according to Rudolf Steiner, and they or she who's doing the art therapy explained to me how the light is conveyed according to the theory of Rudolf Steiner, through the nervous system, and if you can do that in a right way, in the sense that light and dark, and so warmth and light can be there in a right measurement and in a right flow, so to speak, then the nervous system is operating in a healthy way, so to speak.
Yeah, so that's what's interesting with the nervous system. I mean, it's like trillions of cells,
Yes.
literally trillions.
Yeah.
An incredible happening. I mean, it's truly amazing when you consider it.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, I mean, without it, breathing, digesting, regulating temperature, balancing, understanding what we seeing, what we're hearing. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So I can through my artwork, she discovered that that there was a lack of capacity for warmth in the system for myself. I recognize that as something that I sense in my system, not always, but it's there regularly. That it's that I'm still in a certain, say, harshness towards in life, so to speak.
And who would be doing that?
Yeah. You with your questions, who will be doing that?
So you might notice a pattern.
Yes, well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, then going deeper, okay, who's doing that pattern? And if you notice a pattern like that, can you find that pattern in any of your caregivers that somehow function through that pattern?
Definitely, there was no warmth in me, or in that sense, in my mother's capacity.
Okay, good. So somewhere along the line,
yeah,
your system, you could say, modeled itself after.
Yeah.
It got that instruction.
Yeah.
And in that noticing.
Yeah.
Is that?
Do you notice that in my nervous system as well when we sit?
I could find that, but to me, I wouldn't say it's like that. You're doing it. I would say that there's a pattern that plays,
Mm-hmm.
and hasn't yet been fully explored. That's all. So, to me, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just like a habit, you could say, of how the system relates to the moment.
Yes.
So when we rest here like this,
we can dance, right?
so what happens to that pattern then? It's not set in stone.
No, no, no.
So that pattern has had a function up till now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that's not really in tune, it's but it's been doing something automatically and unconsciously that it's been paying a price for.
Yes.
It wasn't awareness of it. I wouldn't say you've been doing it. I just say that's
no.
automatic unconscious
Yeah,
habit.
which,
It's not necessary anymore.
no, which disappears in a split second.
Exactly. So how real can it be? So usually what happens is we hear something like that and we think, oh, what do I have to do to get rid of that pattern now? To fix it or change it or something like that. But actually we're interested in meeting beautifully, and I'd say it's far more productive to just enjoy meeting beautifully and allowing those neural pathways to get
Blown open. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because then now I'm thinking, the thought came, the next 5 sessions with her are all focused on working on the nervous system, getting the light in the right measurements and the warmth and the.
If that seems fun to you, play with it.
No, I mean, but if I feel what I feel now, it's like, what am I going to do there for the next 5 times if this is happening?
Yeah, so but it's cool. Then come like this and then see where she goes from here. You go, okay, wow, thank you for that pointer. And now what's next?
Yeah. Hmm.
You know, it's like that thing of, you know, you maybe you went climbing somewhere and you had the ropes that you were using for the climbing, and you came home, you were tired, you just chucked them in the corner of the room. And then you woke up and in the half light, it looked like there was a snake there, especially if you live in Australia, it wouldn't be that surprising. But you turn on the light and you see, wow, there's no snake there. It's a rope. You don't have to even work on your fear of snakes because there is no snake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a light, yeah, for a light-hearted way, so to speak, to be and to work with these concepts that come up and and seem like you have to carry the load of an ancestor, blah blah blah, and there's nothing to do. Thank you, Isaac. Big hug.
Thank you. Good. Hey, Judith.
Hey, Isaac. Hi. So many concepts, huh? Wow. It's amazing.
Okay.
Antje.
Nou, hello Isaac.
Hi.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, thank you. So for Europe, the time stays the same over the next days, but for Australia, there's a time change coming. I think this next coming weekend. So really, the meetings in Byron have changed from 8 o'clock at night till 7. And then I'm keeping the times in Europe the same, but there's not going to be that Sunday evening meeting anymore. It'll be going back to Sunday morning for Europe. That'll be in the evening for Australia. Anyway, thank you, Andrea, for hosting. Thank you, beloveds, for showing up. Love, peace, beauty.